and welcome to Scotch Whisky Auctions, Big Peatrie's vlog. Here's our new premises. Let's hop inside and do the vlog. Hello, and now that we're now safely inside, nice and warm, we'll get on with the vlog. As always, a nice interesting collections of bottles here in the 61st auction, and what we have starting us off is a lovely Director's Blend from Diageo, one of only 504 bottles released. These are just simply master classes in blending, the art of blending. Blended whisky, as we all know, still the most common way in which people enjoy their whisky, and this is a beautiful, beautiful example, as I said, of the mastery of blending. Next up we have another blend, but this one is from 1936, 1937. It has the seal for George V on it, and this is a John Haig and Company gold label. So this is a whisky dating from the 1936, a lovely chance to see the style of whisky that began to dominate the world, to make blended whisky the world's favourite distilled spirit. What we have next is a rather interesting bottle. This is Queen of Hearts. Now we've got 4 of these issues card series in. We've got the Queen of Hearts, Jack of Clubs, Ace of Spades, and the King of Clubs as well. And these bottles were, they decided to create an interesting look, something that would stand out on the shelves, and so they decided to make them all different playing cards. The reason I've chosen this one is because it's slightly unusual, is that it's been finished in a cognac cask. So whiskey, a cask that has simply contained cognac for most of its life, and this has given it quite a different finish. Next up we go to a lost distillery, which is Glenurry, a very interesting distillery, founded by a man who once walked 1,000 miles in 1,000 hours, the first ever person to do this. He also competed in other ultramarathon events and all this before it was even in vogue. This is back in the 1800s. And this is Glenurry. Now this one here is one of only 26 bottles released. It's 35 years old, and it was distilled in 1968, which is the year they stopped using their own floor maltings. So this will be some of the first spirit that has been distilled after they stopped using their own floor maltings. Next up is a bottle which I'm a little scared to touch, so we're just going to have it down here, and this is a 40-year-old Ardbeg. It's a beautiful bottle in its incredible museum-style case, decanter with its matching mini. Absolutely incredible whisky from the cultish, the absolute world-renowned Ardbeg. Next up we have 2 bottles from the same collection. It's the 26 bottles from the SMWS. Now the 2 ones that I've chosen is Springbank, which says drink me, which I wish I could, and this one here, which is just, I think it's quite a good joke, cheap industrial cooking whisky. And as we all know, the SMWS don't release cheap industrial cooking whisky. These bottles were paired up with designers, 26 designers and 26 grinders were matched up at random to create art around the whisky. We've seen it before with the Macallan 8 decades, this blending, this mixture of art with the distillation, which makes these lots absolutely wonderful. This crossover appeal really appeals to me. Apologies about that. Next up we have something a bit different, but this is from 1902, and this is the King's Ale from Bass, and it's got the date 1902 on it there. A lot of people think that the King's Ale was brewed for his coronation, and it was, but it was kept in oak casks. It wasn't until the 1911s. So this is the first run of the whiskies, sorry, not whiskey, beer, which was taken out of the oak cask and bottled. So there you have beer from 1902. Just a really interesting, wonderful lot. Now last, but by no means least, we have a 1950 Spey Malt from Macallan. Again, it's Gordon MacPhail. Again, it's Macallan. Again, it's old and wonderfully rare whisky. And that kind of full, rich, sherry Macallan style that has become so popular and loved of both collectors and drinkers alike. But also this month we have some absolutely wonderful jams. There's loads of whisky from 1968 specifically, a big year for 1968 in the auction. We have some charity lots for Ralphie, and it's just simply a lovely, lovely auction. So as always, when we go live, get in, get stuck about, have a look, and have a really good look at some of the wonderful, wonderful jams we have on offer. As always, Scotch Whisky Auctions, don't lose your bottle.